efforts. So welcome back to CA Obsessed channel. So as you know from the title of this video, in this video I'll be discussing the mistakes that you should avoid while giving CA Foundation May 2025. So without any further ado, let us begin. So I've made the whole complete list of the mistakes that you should avoid subject wise, and that mistake list that I've made is purely based on my opinion and is actually like the mistakes that I did or I did not, I tried to avoid. You should also do the same so that you can clear your exams. So let us start firstly with the accounts. So in accountancy, first mistake is not practicing actual sums before the exam day. Now, this thing is actually done by many students. Like before the exam day, students generally collect the points where they're committing mistakes and they try to kind of just go through those points so that they won't repeat the mistake. But the thing is, you should practice actual sums so that you can gain that confidence. Even I would suggest you to do easy sums, or like 4 or 5 are enough, but actually you should do the handwritten practice so that in exam you'll be having the confidence that you solved few sums before the exam. And this thing I actually did, and it really helped a lot. Now the second one is not writing narrations. Now this is very common practice in accounts that people usually, like when they're revising or when they're giving tests, they don't usually write narrations just to save time. But the thing is, in exams also you'll get habitual of the same. So you should start writing narrations, or at least like 2 to 3 days before the exam you should practice the journal entries along with the narrations so that you won't forget to write the narrations in the exam day, because it carries marks, trust me. Third one is drawing formats. Now before the exam day, before 2 or 3 days whenever you're revising, you should start drawing the formats and actually doing the sum in the actual presentation. Actually, presentation matters in the exams. I mean, drawing formats carries marks. If you're passing journal entries without forming the proper format, you will lose marks. Trust me, my friends. So you should draw the formats. Start doing that before the exam days. Like when you're doing your final revision, you should follow these mistakes. You should follow these things so that you won't do the mistakes. Fourth one is actually quite important, staying calm and confident. Now, I would like to give a few minutes to this point because this is important, like actually important. And I'll tell you with my personal experience that accountancy, it is not a difficult subject. You all kind of know the concept, you did your revision. But the thing is, it is the first exam. So the pressure is real. Like I know, I was not able to match the balance sheets. There were 2 balance sheets in the exam, Jan 2025, the attempt which I wrote. So I was not able to match both the balance sheets, and I was like stressing out. I was about to leave the questions, and I thought I should just leave. That was my mental condition that time. But you know what? I scored 77 in accountancy. How? Because I chose to stay calm and confident. Now, in the 15 to 20 minutes of that sum where I was unable to match the balance sheet, I was really tensed and nervous. Like, what would I do? How should I do it? Like, I was not able to maintain, the mental poise and the calmness. But I kind of realized that 3 hours I'll have to sit here, I'll have to give the exam, doesn't matter what. So then I calmed myself, I kind of closed my eyes and said that I'll attempt whatever I know. So I did the same and I got 77. So that thing actually proves that balance sheet matters, but not up to the extent that if it is not matching, it won't get you marks. No, marks are for adjustments, not for matching balance sheet. So trust me, my friends, do complete the exam. Doesn't matter if your balance sheet is not matching, move on to next question and start doing that. Now, fifth point is for every subject, attempting full exam. Because I actually got 77. How? Because I attempted whole 100 marks question. Doesn't matter if my balance sheet was matched or not, a point I was not sure of. I just did it. Like I gave the whole exam. Why? Because I knew step marking is there. So you should not forget, in accounts there is step marking. So even if you're doing one adjustment right, you will get marks for that. And doesn't matter if your balance sheet is balancing or not. So do complete the full exam and don't lose your confidence. You got it. Now the second subject that we are going to talk about is law. First mistake that you should avoid is writing wrong sections. This is a common mistake. People generally, like students like me, try to learn laws but actually forget at the point. So what I would suggest you to is not write sections. Avoid writing wrong sections because it will deduct your marks. And if you're not writing sections, that will probably compensate with the explanation that you have done. So I also wrote few sections that I was sure about. I did not try to code the sections that I was actually even 1% doubtful. So I did not write those. Second, proper format. In law also format matters. What's the format? Write the provision, then the facts of the case, and then the conclusion. In practical questions, you'll have to follow this format. Third, not using law language for theory questions. Now, you know what? If you are a subscriber of my channel, you must know that I've uploaded law strategy video for May 2025. And in that video, I actually kind of discussed how you can easily pass law by theory questions and by actually kind of focusing much on these, because theory questions carries heavy weightage, and actually you have to write law language purely. I mean, it is like ratna wala kaam. Pura theoretical questions ko you have to learn by heart. So if you're not using law language in theory questions, you'll lose marks. So avoid doing the same. choosing best question. Now this should be done. I've listened to so many students who have given their exam. They were like, I knew that I can do question 3 or 2, but I still started with 1. Like, why? What is the need? I did not started with 1. I started with 6, then 4, then 5, in this kind of, the questions. So it is not actually, important to maintain the sequence like you'll write to 1 to 6, and no, you'll start with your best question and don't kind of ignore, every single point. You have to read and actually make sure which question you're going to attempt as your first question. So next subject that we're going to talk about is quantitative aptitude. Okay, so first one, I don't think so many kind of students talk about this, but you should actually start filling your OMR along with the question when you're attempting it. Many students do the same thing in a way that they firstly go through the question, attempt it on just your question paper, and kind of solve the whole question paper and then start to fill OMR. That is not a right thing to do. You should start filling your OMR along with the questions while you're attempting. I did the same in every question, in quantitative aptitude as well as in economics. I was solving one question, I got the answer, I'll mark it on OMR. Second question, I'll mark it on OMR. I followed this way, and I think it is the best way to kind of attempt the exam, because otherwise students generally tend to struck on a question. If they're not able to do one question, they'll spend 5 to 10 minutes on that. This is not a right thing. So if you're doing one question, start filling your OMR alongwise so that you won't waste your time and you'll actually start getting confident that you are attempting something. So don't get stuck on a question for a long time. If you think it is 1 to 2 minutes, spend it. If you think it will take longer time, skip it, go to the easier one first. Then allotting time wisely. This is actually important. You have to allot time wisely. Like, I remember when I gave my exam, I kind of divided the 2 hours into slots. Like, firstly I'll just go through the question paper, easy ones I'll mark. Then I'll check if the kind of unanswered ones remains. Few moderate questions I'll attempt those, and then move on to hard questions. So kind of 3 times skimming was done by me. And I attempted 65 MCQs of aptitude, and I got 64. So I have uploaded the strategy for this one also, you can check it out. Then carrying 2 calculators. Don't carry 1 calculator, please. Doesn't matter your calculator is of good brand, you are actually kind of comfortable with it, but please carry 2 calculators. It is never predictable when your calculator will give up, so carry 2 calculators. Then calculated tricks. Now if you know the tricks, it will actually help you. You will not kind of have to pick your pencil or pen to solve the question. If you know calculated tricks, you can solve the question on calculator itself. Like, I know the chapter mathematics of finance, there were so many questions and I knew the calculator tricks that I applied on calculator, so I kind of barely touched my pencil to solve on the question paper for that chapter particularly. So there are so many YouTube videos available on this. You can watch any, you can write those tricks and try to learn it or try to practice on calculator. That's how you should do. So next one is economics. So mainly the things are covered in these subjects, but the things that I found quite difficult or different, I wrote it. So first, not studying module properly. Now economics exam में module पढ़ना सबसे important है, but the students try to practice MCQs as much as they can. Like, they know कि exams उसी में से आ जाएगा. No, you should focus on module. ICA module is the granth that you have to follow for economics exam particularly. Second, MCQs practice. MCQs practice is important, but it is not effective if you're not doing module properly. So firstly, you have to complete module. I know module थोड़ा theoretical है, थोड़ा kind of boring है, but if you revise it by heart, MCQs practice automatically easy हो जाएगी. Third, fill OMR alongwise. ये same point है. इकोनॉमिक्स में भी आपको OMR साथ के साथ ही फिल करनी है. यू डोंट हैव टू वेस्ट योर टाइम लेटर ऑन फिलिंग OMR, क्योंकि इट डजेंट मैटर और इट इज़ नेवर काइंड ऑफ प्रिडिक्टेबल कि बाद में टाइम बचे या ना बचे. यू शुड फिल इट अलॉन्ग वाइज. देन रीडिंग क्वेश्चन प्रॉपर्ली. इकोनॉमिक्स में इफ यू रीडिंग द क्वेश्चन प्रॉपर्ली यू विल गेट द आंसर. अदरवाइज इफ यू स्किप अ क्वेश्चन लाइक विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज नॉट, अगर आपने नॉट स्किप कर दिया योर आंसर इज रॉन्ग. सो focus on every single point that is written in the question, and this point actually is for every subject. If you're not reading question properly, you'll get it wrong. Trust me, read the question properly twice, thrice, till the time you get what the question wants to say or what the question wants you to answer properly. Okay, last but not the least, all the best to all of you for your exams. I know you'll get this, I know you'll crack it, and I am wishing for the success for all of you. So just don't worry, keep calm and confident and just attempt the exam, and try to attempt full 100 marks exam, accounts and law. And in quantitative aptitude and economics, try to do as many as questions as possible, but in a way that you're sure. Like, I attempted only 65. Why? Because I was confident in those and I got the marks. And here I attempted 85 and I got 80. So in these exams, you're not advised to attempt 100 out of 100. Attempt those which you honestly know are like the true or like best of your knowledge. So do that, and all the very best. And lastly, please subscribe my channel. I actually want you to subscribe the channel because we are not even 100 subscribers. So let us support each other, and I'll try to make further videos. And let me know in the comments what problem are you facing in these days. Like, a week is left, I guess, for exams. So if you're facing any particular problem in any subject or anyhow, just tell me in the comments. I'll make that video and will help you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope it would be useful for you somewhere and you got something new to learn, or you'll actually follow these tips and you'll work on your mistakes. All the best. Stay tuned for more videos.